Hello, Unspoken Beauty Squad. Welcome back to episode 3. This week we're going to be talking about glowing and growing. So I have my handy dandy notebook. No, just kidding. My handy dandy phone that has all my notes on here, what we'll be discussing. And I think you guys are going to really love this episode. And I think we can all take something from it and see how we will all be glowing by the end of this episode. Alright, so I want you to take a second and view your heart and your mind as a plant. To see something grow, we have to nurture it, right? And it also involves pulling out the weeds when we see them sprouting in our progress. Now, we have to expose ourselves to beam of light, water ourselves with self-care, and naturally we bloom with strength and glowiness. So let's break down those elements so that we can see how we can get to that beautiful ending. Now, the weeds we obviously know are negative vibes, situations, and people that try to shade our sunlight. Unfortunately, in life, we may have had friends or relationships that started out great, and we may have ignored those red flags that show up. And to be humble, even within ourselves, we may have had traits that needed to be nurtured, but because we are consumed with building something with someone else, we may become naive. And, it's hard sometimes, when we're in something, we don't see it right away, as opposed to when we try to look at the bigger picture and take a step back and look from the outside in. Having to remove these weeds in our life can be easy, and some can be deep-rooted, especially because we or the other person becomes comfortable. But the guarantee in the end is that we will be able to move forward and grow tall. There's no sense in keeping that around for comfort purposes because it'll only choke us in the end. So delete those text messages, make new friends, and set new goals, which leads into our next element. Water ourselves with self-care. Before we move forward with anything in our life, we have to take care of ourselves, which I'm sure you can agree. I don't know how many times I've said it, and even to myself, but self-care is so important in life to see ourselves grow. We are so distracted with life in general, being pounded with craziness on the outside, that we barely make time for ourselves. That was my issue. And also breeding the needs of other people before myself. Now, I'm not saying that showing love and care for other people is wrong at all. By all means, that's very important in life that we show love to other people. But it's about having the proper balance between the two, making sure that we are taking care of ourselves so that we can take care of other people. So, make plans for yourself just to breathe. I think we even take advantage of that sometimes. You know how you just give that big at the end of the day? Because sometimes we don't just sit back and breathe through things. We just let things bottle up so much in our chest, and it gets to that point where you're just like, oh my gosh, I haven't taken a moment to breathe. So take that moment just to breathe for yourself. Reflect on what you like to enjoy. Think about yourself for once, because sometimes in our minds we are always thinking about, what do I have to do tomorrow? What do I have to do in an hour? What do I need to do next week? Just take a moment and breathe. Think about yourself, and I guarantee you'll even feel better with that. Even if it's once a month you take time out just for yourself, it'll make that much of a difference. And then as you get more comfortable, you'll build a routine that, once a week, I'm gonna make sure I take time for myself. And then you might get to a point where every single day you make sure you take an hour out for yourself so that you can take care of that heart and that mind. So important. So now that you've learned to take care of yourself, expose ourselves to beam of light, which means to surround yourself with those who walk around with a ray of sunshine. You know how you meet someone and they just have this great energy? It's like they're just walking around with beams of light around them. It makes you feel good. and you even become motivated by being around people like that. It's always good to have that type of company who don't over criticize or become judgmental, and also someone who listens and actually fuels you for something that you need. It's not always about, oh, what can I do for them? Maybe it's something that they can do for me. Then you're moved to do the same for the other person. I found this to be easily seen in older and mature ones. I have nothing against people that are my age or this generation, but personally I found that if you want to grow, you need to glean that knowledge from someone who knows best. And they always say your parents, even though they get on your nerves and they're always like, well, let me tell you when I was that age or when I was doing this, maybe Aggie, but it has a lot of truth to it. And when you get older and you mature and you start to realize things, you're just like, what my parents said then, that actually made some sense when you look at the bigger picture outside of the yelling, the screaming, and the taunting. There's always some good knowledge within that. So when you focus on those things, you're able to grow, you're able to gain wisdom, and that's how you're able to expose your light even brighter. And then that easily segues into our final element. We naturally bloom with strength and glowiness. When we plant those elements into us, we are going to see great things happen, and this isn't something we do once in a while. It's a lifetime commitment, and it requires time, persistence, mistakes, and all. We won't always get it right, but when we do, we are stable. And girl, you will grow and glow. It's really, really important to apply those elements and in that order. When you eliminate those negative things, learn to take care of yourself, and then you're able to surround yourself by those great people and great situations and goals, you will be seeing yourself beaming, and people will even see it in you. And it'll even fuel your own fire when other people see that you're making the efforts to do better. And it really is a liberating feeling. I'm going to be saying that so much. When you make changes in your life, just as my previous episode about changes, sometimes it can be uncomfortable because you do get stiff and steady in a certain place of life because you're afraid of changes. You're afraid of getting out of your routine. But then when you also look at it, if it's a routine that is only damaging you in the end, and you're around certain people and situations that are only growing those weeds and you think they're flowers or little dandelions and they're really not, you want to grow tall, strong, and you want the seeds to be deep rooted, and you want to become and flourish so much that you'll even be shocking yourself. But it's so healthy. And remember to smile. I think I take that for granted, how much we should just smile in life. There's so many things, so many negative things going on around us that we don't take the time, in addition to breathing, to smiling. Find at least one thing to be grateful for and one thing to, be happy about, to get you through the day and through those moments. Even if you need to look at this video over and over again, please do, because it's really going to help you, and it's helped me, it's still helping me, and I still got work to do. So I am no perfectionist. I'm only sharing my gems with you, and I really hope that this helps you in this episode, and next time that you see me, that you'll be growing and glowing with me. So I hope you enjoyed this segment on Unspoken Beauty, and next time we're going to discuss self-esteem. Who hasn't dealt with self-esteem in their life one way or another? I don't care if you're the most confident person on this earth. We have all dealt with self-esteem issues, and I'm looking forward to talking about that with you guys. I'm not going to get into it too much, but just a shout out and a side note, thank you for all who are taking the time to actually listen and watch my videos. It really means a lot to me because this is all new to me and I'm still nervous about it. But I really appreciate those who are taking the time to support me with this. And I hope that you really take something from it and it helps you just like these things have helped me. So again, do not forget to subscribe, like, share this video. And also, again, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, I am on Speak Unspokenly, and I would love to connect with you guys. Any comments, suggestions, let me know, and I'll see you next time on Unspoken Beauty. Bye.